I was drafted February the 15th, 1968. At the time, I was kind of waiting for it. I knew I was going to be drafted. As far as a perception, I was probably fatalistic about it. You know, I knew I was going to be drafted. Just something I was going to have to deal with. The terrain was it was pretty flat. A lot of rice paddies, a lot of swamp. We had there was a 3,000-foot mountain to the north of us. It was the only thing you could see above the horizon. We were right on the Cambodian border, just east of it, northwest of Saigon. I carried what they called a PRC, which we shortened to Prick 25 radio. But my main responsibility was maintain that radio and maintain communications. I was part of a forward observer team. Forward observers with the artillery. And so I had a second lieutenant, and he and I and another guy we were the FO team. Shit hit the fan, we'd call in artillery. Everybody had an M16 and probably at least 3, 4, 5 bandoliers of ammunition, grenades. Some guys carried M60 machine gun or dupers, which shot grenade rounds, a couple 100 yards. But we all had heavy loads. I was awarded a Silver Star for heroism. I don't know how it reads for this one big firefight. Another company was they were going to build a new base right up on the border. And they flew them in, and the were they think they were heading into Saigon, and they had spent the night where we were going to put in a new base. So these guys flew in and got off their choppers and they got lit up. They got fired on. And so they called in our company to come in and reinforce them. The first company had already lost. One chopper was on the ground, and when we came in, they shot another chopper down, and we were taking fire from the minute we hit the water. And it was low crawling, and it was 12, 15 inches of water. Low crawled all the way forward. It was scary, but you did your job. I got out in 1970 and spent 9 years trying to make up for those 2 years that I was in the Army. Partied, drugged, rock and rolled. But it's a situation of a minute late and $1 short. And I feel like all this, the current veterans or the current people who are in the service, well, thank you for your service. I think it's an empty gesture. They probably rarely know anybody that's in the service. And when everything's said and done, they really don't care, as long as their kid's not doing it. It's almost an extension of 50 years ago. As long as I don't have to go, I don't care. But in the meantime, somebody's got to be on the wall. It took until now, processing it every day. It really wasn't until about 3 years ago that I gained some really deep insights and came to accept some things that I didn't have any control over. And it was this sort of survivor's guilt that things were what they were. They happened, and I didn't have any control over it. It was probably a transformative war that's probably shaped the country more than we realize. The experiences made me who I am and what I am, and I wouldn't change it. It was hard, it was difficult, emotionally and psychologically traumatizing, but I survived it, and it made me who I am.